Hi there, welcome once again to Blackpool for this, sadly, the last programme in the series of the RideysPoker.com World 8-Ball Pool Championships. We've already enjoyed the men's team final, we enjoyed the ladies' final too, and right now it's the climax of the whole event. It is the men's final, and it's between two former champions, Gareth Potts, seeded 10, against Mick Hill, seeded 3. Their two winners previously got a chance to go for a two-time champion now. And I'm delighted to say that joining me here, Mark Selby, the current champion. Mark, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Winning the title 12 months ago, what difference did that make to your life?
Well, because I'm not really a pool fan. I mean, say pool fan, I obviously play pool, not as much as what I do snooker. But I mean, it has done a massive change to me because I mean, I've done a lot of pool exhibitions which I'm not normally used to. I mean, I used to do the odd snooker exhibitions, but very rarely. But doing the pool exhibitions, it's been good. It's been really exciting, and like the banter in the pub situations, I've really enjoyed it.
And you had some great success in the snooker world, of course, since then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, getting to the final of the World Snooker Championships is like a massive boost. I mean, obviously it's got me in the top 16, which is massive for me next year, but hopefully I'd like to come back next year in this World 8-Ball Championship and try and give it another go.
Yeah, but of course, sadly for you, not able to contest this final because you're already out and you lost to Gareth.
Yeah, I did, but it was a difficult match, Gareth. I mean, Gareth's girlfriend is the sister of my girlfriend as well, so we're more or less family. So I was sitting there in my seat, and to be fair, when Gareth was clearing up some frames, I even wanted to applaud him myself, but it was really hard to play the match, and fortunate for Gareth, he got over the line, and hope he does well and goes on and wins it. It
is a terrific event, this. Let's now hear from Gareth Potts.
Having won this event in the past, you know what it takes to get there. How important is it for you to be a two-time winner?
Oh, obviously, you know, it's massive, you know, obviously it's a dream to win, and, you know, to have the opportunity to win it twice, you know, it's another dream come true, hopefully.
Lastly, are you happy with your form?
Yeah, definitely, you know, I'm playing as well as ever, you know, I just think I've got to continue to hit the break well, and if I pop balls off the break, you know, I can win.
Listen, all the best. I know you're good pals. We're looking forward to it.
Very much. Thank you.
So there's the reaction from Gareth. How do you feel? What sort of mood do you think he's in?
Well, he seems quite positive. I mean, like I say, I mean...
He looks very tense.
Yeah, he probably tense before the match, but I mean, that's only natural anyway, being a world final. I mean, it's Gareth's career, it's his livelihood, so I mean, this is the biggest tournament he can play in, so he's obviously going to be tense, but I mean, they're both world-class players, and I think it could be a flip of a coin. It's going to come down to the break, I think.
OK, let's just break off to take a check on the road to the final for these two players. Starting with Gareth, you can see, as we said, seeded 10 this time round. In the semi-final, he put out Lee Clough. That was 10-7. Earlier, of course, we beat my guest now, Mark Selby. And before that, it was Sunny Singh. Pretty comfortable victory there in the last 16. As for Mick Hill, well, it was Rob Mackay who gave him a few problems on the way in the semi-final, but he got over those OK. Earlier, a pretty stormy quarter-final against Carl Morris, and then Rowan McCarthy went out in the last 16, and we can now hear from Mick Hill.
Now, you know Gareth very well. What are your head-to-heads like against him?
I would think that I'm probably maybe 2 from 3 over the years, but in all honesty, to him, and in fairness, that he was a really young lad when I was sort of maybe getting like the winning of the tours and, you know, 1 or 2 in the rankings, etc. Over the last couple of years, yeah, I think maybe I've edged it in the big matches, but, you know, there wouldn't be a great deal in it. It would be 5 to 6 each or 2 in the betting, I would say.
It's going to be a great final, Mick. Good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
I have to say, Mark, finally, before we get your prediction, I think Mick looked to be the more relaxed of the two players.
I'm not
maybe
too
that's
sure.
just his natural attitude.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, he might just be a laid-back person anyway, and that just might be the way he goes into matches. But I mean, obviously, it's not a bad thing being tense and having butterflies and stuff, because it means you're ready for the match. So
how do you assess what we're about to see?
I wouldn't like to say. I mean, like I say, it might come down to the break. I think it's a flip of a coin. It'd be nice to see if Gareth wins it.
Terrific, Mark. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to you staying with us throughout this programme. For the moment, though, let's go off to Scott and Dave.
Once again, a very warm welcome down here to the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool. It is the men's singles final. So without further ado, let's play ball. Introducing first, with already numerous titles under his belt, he's looking to take one more home to the trophy cabinet. Ladies and gents, the one and only Mr. Mick Hill!
Today is no stranger to lifting this title as he did back in the year 2005, the one and only Mr. Gareth Potts.
Well, over hundreds of players kicked off in this year's championship, and only 2 remain. Gareth Potts and Mick Hill. Much more reserved entrance from Potts, it's fair to say. But the number 3 seed on the right, Mick Hill, and the number 10 seed on the left, Gareth Potts, to contest the world title. And look at that, the lag to initiate the breaking sequence, and it looks like it's going to be Gareth Potts to break in frame number 1. It's a best of 21. First player to 11 will be crowned the world champion, and 2 times they will hold this title. And joined as always for major events like this, the Fox himself made his way to the commentary box. Lee Kendall. Lee, great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. It's going to be a close match, I think, tonight. 2 great players in form. And it's probably going to be just the odd mistake between them all night.
And as always, the referee, Sean Baker. And Sean, very interesting. You and I talking about this final before they kicked off, when they each won in 2004 for Mick Hill, 2005 for Gareth Potts. You refereed both those finals.
Yeah, that's correct, Jim. I had the honour of doing those 2 finals, my first world finals, and Mick won his first title then, and then Gareth won his first title, and they were both fantastic evenings. After having done the first final, I couldn't wait really to get out and do the second one, because I tell you now, you don't enjoy the first one. Your stomach's churning, you've got nerves the same as the players. There might be different nerves.
And you're the referee.
Exactly.
So how are they feeling?
Yeah, you've got hundreds of people out there watching you. You know one mistake from you, and it's a big talking point.
Yeah, and Gareth has nominated the Reds. Just cleaning the table. He's just got 1 awkward red on the right hand side next to the yellow ball. He could possibly screw back and break into that if he's having a look now if he can get through to it. I'm sure he can, but whether he's got the angle to break those balls out. So he decided to take that one. He obviously didn't have the angle.
And both players, in fact, in pre-match interviews, and even our studio guest Mark Selby, see this as a coin toss. Nothing more. It could all come down to the success or lack thereof on the break. That's how close it is.
Yeah, and they are the 2 best players in the tournament, and certainly over the last 6 months they've been very dominant in the game of 8-ball, so it's a fitting final, really.
Yeah, both these players, Lee, as you've said, the top of the game at the moment, and they're vying for that #1 spot on the professional circuit this year in England, and there's Mick's closing in on Gareth at the last count, so this is certainly going to be a wonderful occasion.
Yeah, and this is the key shot in the frame. He's going to play the red and either cannon to the red or the yellow. Should be in good position. That's good enough, I think. He's got the reds in the open, just needs 1 good pot.
Yes, that 8 looks to pocket certainly to the bottom right corner as we look. Bottom left, questionable. Gareth just having a look to see.
Yeah, he's taking the red into the side. Just checking his angle. He knows he's got the cue ball travelling far away from the other red, so it's just a question of whether he decides to come on and off the rail. Which is played a very good shot there. He's in great shape.
What an effort this from Gareth Potts right from the break. Planted Mick Hill in his seat. And just like that, it's a 1-0 advantage to Gareth Potts over Mick Hill. What a dream start.
Mick Hill to break, trailing 1 frame to 0.
Frame number 2, a 1-0 advantage to the number 10 seed and 2005 world champion. And now down to the 2004 title holder to reply.
Open table.
It's a dry break there, Jim. So
early indications, Lee. If the break is a determining factor, then advantage Gareth Potts.
Yeah, I mean, Mick Hill did split the balls very well, but you can't guarantee a ball off the break. What you can do is time the cue ball and get a good split on the pack and just hope, really.
Now, knowing these two players, Lee, and obviously facing them many times on the tour yourself, I mean, is there a big differential in the break?
Not really, no, they're both big breakers, and they're all a very, very similar standard. I mean, there's probably about 0.5% between them, and it depends on the day who turns up with that extra percentage. I mean, Mikhil's been number one for a few years now, Gareth's number one, so he says nip and tuck. And in fact, he's actually, I mean, the last couple of finals Gareth's played, and Mick's just pipped him. So I'm sure Gareth's going to be trying to get one back on him.
Well, he's the younger of the two, is Gareth, 23 years of age. So you have to think the pool world is at his feet. Mind you, it seems all the top players are young. I mean, Mikhil, 27, he's the older of the bunch. Mark Selby's only 24.
Yeah, he's just got one awkward red now in the top left-hand corner. Being blocked by the yellow ball. He's going to have to try and find a way of breaking it or getting behind it. If he gets his cue ball to the left-hand side rail, he could take it into the top right. So he's just on a quick look around which way he fancies going. I think he's got a possibility of trying to cut the one into the centre and come down on and off the rail, but he could collide into the two yellows if he hits it too hard.
30 seconds.
He's trying that now. Just needs to avoid the yellows. Oh, he's going to drop it into the middle now. This is a test of cueing.
Very acute angle, this red into the centre pocket. But he elects that path.
Yeah, I think if he goes out on his nose, he's going to be on the red in the right-hand corner. The one nearest the yellow on the right-hand side. So he'll be clipping it in and bringing the cue ball out. So this is possibly a frame ball if he gets a good position off it. It's awfully tight though.
Yes, yeah. What about that little effort?
Yeah, it was a great long pot. I thought you might have tried to clip it in, but as you see from the camera angle, it was very, very tight into the centre, so that's why he chose to go long.
He actually just slightly overhit this, Lee, and he's left himself a little awkward. Very close to that right-hand cushion as he looks at this red.
Yes, his first major test of cueing this one, so we'll see if there's any butterfly still in Gareth at the moment.
.30 seconds.
And whichever one of these two players wins tonight will be joining that elite club of two-time champion.
And he's not landing on it, Sean. He's been really unfortunate there. He cued a good ball and obviously he just misjudged the angle the white was going to come off the cushion. He was expected to come just a few inches inside of that, to the left-hand side of it. So it's just a question whether it's touching ball. He may have to play away.
Well, our referee Melvin's had a look at that, and he's not called touching ball, Lee. So obviously it isn't. Gareth had another look there, so just whether he was going to get a second opinion from Melvin.
30 seconds.
See how he thinks it's really, really tight. You see him having another look again, our overhead shot.
You think if it's that tight though, he can't get round. I mean, he may try to swerve round, but the arc is going to be very quick. And it looks like he is swerving around. It's a very difficult shot. It's probably like a 1 in 10 shot.
Yellow balls in play.
Great effort, but you can see between these 2 millimeters could prove the difference for Gareth Potts as we see the attempt again.
Yeah, it was near on impossible to, as you say, Lee, to get that cue ball round enough to get the angle to pot the red. He probably felt that he hadn't got any other choice there, really.
Yeah, he was frozen up against the red, so and he got awfully close. I mean, it was a great effort. He is very good at the swerve shot, so you know, a few more frames into the match, he may have got it when he's got relaxed. So it's a thin clip into the centre, moving the red away. So it's a good chance for Mikhil. We just see if the nerves are with Mick. I mean, we always say at the start of a match you're going to be a little bit nervous, and the first frame can sometimes be the hardest frame to win. So we'll find out how Mick's feeling very soon.
In the early days in matches, I remember having a conversation with the late Eddie Charlton, great Australian snooker player, and he said, you don't try and mask the nerves. because nobody's going to be fooled. They know you're nervous. He said you just try and embrace the pressure and, you know, play with it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a little bit of extra adrenaline, which is pressure as well, as it, where you can just pump a little bit too much onto the cue ball and overrun it and just put yourself under more pressure. He should still be okay. He can just clip the yellow into the top right hand corner, and he's just checking to see if the yellow passes the 8-ball on the bottom left. But I'd imagine he would be clipping the yellow into the top right hand corner and bringing the cue ball roughly where he's cueing now for the centre pocket. Well, he's almost missed that. He's just sneaked in, and there must be a gap for the yellow to pass the 8-ball.
Yeah, because that's what he's left himself. You can see there from the camera angle, it does go. Be very precise here. Excellent shot.
Excellent shot, and that's prime position just to roll this this yellow down and be in perfect position for the 8-ball. And has he gone behind it? Well, that's careless, because he didn't need to be anywhere near that.
Well, it certainly looks like he has. And what a let-off for Gareth Potts if he has.
Yeah, because if he thought it was going to anywhere near the red, he just had to a little bit further, that a little bit hardily, and just flick the red out of the way, didn't he? But like you say, didn't really need to be going anywhere near it.
I mean, the yellow ball went into the centre of the pocket, so like I was saying a few moments ago, he might have just give it a little bit more with the adrenaline. He hasn't quite settled down. He knows it's a big shot, so he's just give it a bit more pace to cue it in. And he was unfortunate to go behind the red, but you know, he shouldn't have been anywhere near it.
He's asked Melvin Harley, the referee, whether it's a total snooker. Didn't actually hear whether Melvin confirmed that or not.
But you feel if he doesn't pop the black, he's going to lose a frame. Has he doubled it?
Go on, guys. Go on, guys.
Close, but I'm sure this will be end of frame for McHill. Put Gareth into a 2-frame lead.
Oh, Gareth must have been sat in his chair thinking, well, this is one each. And he'll be getting ready to come out and break. He's been given a great opportunity here by McHill.
Funny though, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. It was just a millimeter that cost Gareth Potts the frame or the chance at it, and in the end, the same can be said about McHill, but it's 2-0 to Gareth Potts, and he's off to a dream start in this final.
Third frame, Gareth Potts to break, leading 2 frames to 0.
Frame number 3, leading 2-0. Gareth Potts set to crush the reds and yellows.
Just look at the spin up on that cue ball. He's potted a red, and incredible there, Jim, and the spotted cue ball shows you exactly what was happening there.
Just about to say, with that new spotted cue ball that Aramuth has provided us with, clearly illustrates the spin these players put on that cue ball. And a few of the players have had to make adjustments, as Lee noted earlier, and Keith Brewer confirmed it's playing a little heavier than what they're used to.
Yeah, and that can make you fall out of position where you're used to the lighter cue ball. You tend to know, especially when you're under pressure, where the cue ball is going to go. But the players have practiced for 2 or 3 weeks this spotted cue ball, so they're well prepared, and they've made the adjustments now. But you will just see the odd error in positional play.
I mean, more so than in the past. Case in point right there, Lee. Traveled a little further than he intended, I'm sure.
Yeah, he'll be hoping he can get through to the yellow at the bottom of the table. I think he can by the way Gareth's still looking as though he's going to attack.
Yeah, he's just looking there for his position for taking the yellow that's just to the left of the black as we look on the overhead into the middle pocket, running through into that area, and he's got the 4 yellows there, and he's just picking them off, finding his position with the cue ball on each shot.
Yeah, I think he just checked to see if that yellow underneath the 8-ball will pass into the left-hand centre. And that's what he just played positional for. It looks absolutely perfect. So it's the yellow into the left-hand centre. Can either top through and move the red away, which is probably what he's going to do. Just looking at it now. Needs to be careful, because when you run into balls, you're not guaranteed to get a good kiss, a full ball contact.
Ideal.
Yeah, played it very well. Still got a couple of yellows there, though, Jim. It'll block each other top bottom left-hand corner.
Now, Lee, with Gareth hailing from your area, do you guys ever get together and put in a practice session?
Yeah, we're best mates. We've practiced for the last 2 weeks, 6 hours a day for this tournament, for this sort of occasion where Gareth's going to be playing one of the biggest matches of his life. It's just, he's a great player and obviously a very good friend as well.
Obviously, the practice only helped one of you.
Yeah, well, there's only 2 people get to the final, and unfortunately I wasn't the other one.
The tournament's loss is the box's gain, Lee.
Oof, he's missed it. Now that's careless. He did that in his last match. A simple shot and didn't get down and play the shot properly. I mean, that's just careless. There wasn't nerves, anything there. He's settled. He's in the match.
He was up off the cue very quickly. I wonder if it just didn't maybe turn a little on him. Is it possible it might have caught something on the table? And
sorry, Jim. Yeah, it's quite possible, but you still think it would be with a little turn he'd hit the centre of the pocket when he's aiming, unless he was trying to pinch a little bit to hold position. But that's the lifeline for Mick. He's obviously thinking he's doing 3-0 behind. He needs to get his first frame on the board. I mean, yet again, he's got reds in the open. There's no reason why, under normal services, he wouldn't clear up. But you know, this is a world final.
Yeah, he's just got to get. He's not quite sure he's got the right angle there, because he's looking to come down the table after this shot for the red that's between the yellow and the black there, as we see. Get that out of the way, and he can polish the 2 reds up at the top.
Yeah, you wanted to play this red, Sean, and just either drop down on the yellow or through the gap, so he must be a little bit thinner than you would liked. Just worried about catching the yellow. It's awfully close whether he can get through to that. I think he's just about okay. So he can just take the red into the bottom right-hand corner and bring the cue ball anywhere into the middle of the table, and he's got choice of reds.
Just jacking the cue up here to avoid contact with that black. He's potted this red. And as you say, parked it in the middle of the table.
Yeah, pristine position, and there's no reason why Mick Hill shouldn't put the first frame on the board for himself. He just needs to be careful when he plays this one. The pots should be guaranteed. Just making sure he leaves off a nice angle, because the yellow is blocking the left-hand pocket, so you will just want to run on and off the cushion and take the 8 ball into the bottom right-hand pocket.
And after seeing Gareth miss an easy ball, you just feel that Mick will give every shot a little added attention. And that's the secret of success as Mick Hill opens his account in this final. And against the break of Gareth Potts, it is 2-1 in favor of Potts. One more look at this yellow, but very quickly up off the cue, Gareth saw that that white was not traveling the intended path and how costly it was.
Break, trailing 2 frames to 1.
21, race to 11. 2-1 in favor of Gareth Potts as Mick Hill settles into the break, frame number 4. No success in his first break. This one a little different.
Yeah, you lost your cue ball there as well, Jim. You see it jump up in the air and fly over. Could quite easily have gone off the table or been kissed enough.
Yellow ball's nominated.
We've seen quite a bit of that in these championships, Lee. Seen the cue ball on the floor on quite a few occasions.
Yeah, it's just not contacting the front ball solid enough. Obviously, you're putting a little bit extra power, so you can have more body movement when you play the shot. But Mick's taking the yellows. He's just got one awkward one below the 8 ball. He's just looking at it there, whether he can just play a cannon. He knows that there's a yellow to the right-hand side of it, which will go into the bottom right-hand corner, so when he breaks into it, he's got no positional side to worry about.
Yeah, that's it. He'll just be looking to drop on it and just nudge it away rather than play the big expansive shot and smash it out.
That's what he's just playing now, just trying to cannon into him.
Proved me wrong a little bit. He's actually gone into it quite a bit of pace and moved the black into an awkward spot there.
Yeah, it's just because he couldn't play it any softer, Sean, because he was so thin on it, he just had to go into it, and it's a very fast table out there, and he's still okay. He just got an off angle which he's not happy about. The 8-ball's got a little bit tied up, but I think all the balls still go, so you do notice sometimes with Mick, he'll have a little shake of the head, and similar to Phil Harrison, you know that he's probably still in good shape.
Well, Phil Harrison shakes his head when he's like 1 millimetre out of position. There's an inquest going on inside his brain as to what went wrong.
I think being a top-notch pool player and being a bit selfish with the run of the ball go hand in hand.
Yeah, you expect the pool gods to be in it on your side, no matter what frame it is and at whatever time or whatever occasion. But as you can see, the yellow does pass below the red into the bottom left-hand corner, and he's just probably a little bit worried about the yellow below the 8-ball, just looking at now. I don't think he's going to play that shot, but he's just checking it. I want to move the yellow away from the red first,
30 seconds.
so he doesn't have to come back over there.
Has he got an angle here, latest to run through? No, he's decided whether he thinks that yellow goes.
Well,
I
think what he was hoping that he could take the yellow to the top left-hand corner, then get straight on the yellow on the rail and just run it, hold the cue ball roughly where that yellow is on the rail and take it into the bottom right-hand corner.
Mick Hill supporters looking on there. I recognise a few faces from the West Midlands there. Mick's original stomping ground.
Yeah, he was okay. He's pinched some of the right-hand side of the pocket to try and straighten the cue ball up, so he's a little bit further away than he would like, but he can stop that cue ball. He may run it through for the centre, just looking which bag he prefers to play it in. The problem with playing the yellow into the centre, you wouldn't want the cue ball to be sticking to the rail, because then you can't hold the white.
Yeah, just looking at Gareth Potts, he's almost looking disinterested, looking away in the crowd there. He'll be paying attention to what Mick Hill is doing now.
Well, he's just pinched all of the pocket there to try and get the cue ball away from the rail, and he may have gone too much the other way. I don't know whether he can hold the cue ball now. I mean, he'll be checking to see if the 8-ball will go into the bottom left-hand corner, and Gareth's checking as well for him.
A look on that face of Gareth Potts there seems to indicate that it will.
See, ideally he wanted to play these two balls into the right-hand centre, and it doesn't look like he can. He's going to have to stun on and off the rail if the 8-ball goes where his hand is. That's exactly what he's played. He doesn't want to go behind that red.
Second time. He's danced with position, and he's fell flat onto the floor. He's overhit it. Second time running off the last yellow.
And I think Gareth might just have rekindled his interest in this frame, seeing that shot from Mick.
Trying to swerve around the red to plot the 8, but you have to watch the red ball in front of it.
Foul.
That was a foul.
2 visits.
Handing the frame to Gareth. Mick doesn't look very happy, but it was a couple of poor positional shots. One to get onto the last yellow, and the last yellow to get onto the 8-ball.
Gareth straight away has attacked one of the balls that's in a bad position for him. He's going to take this top right as we looked on the overhead, top left now. And that's perfect. What a great shot from Gareth Potts there. And now really you can't see anything stopping him from winning this frame, apart from Gareth Potts himself.
Well, I wouldn't expect him to miss with one visit. But when he's got the extra visit in hand, these happen once every 10 years.
I doubt he's going to need the second visit. Never a bad way to approach the table. even when you do have the second visit. Play as though every shot, your life still depends on it. And the 8 down. 3-1 the lead confirmed here in Blackpool. Gareth Potts in front of Mick Hill.
This is a shot where he overrun. He just got into it a little bit too much. He possibly expected the cue ball to grip a little bit more. And there was a tough shot where he's tried to swerve around and he made the foul by contacting the red ball.
It's a great long pot here from Gareth Potts.
Frame number 5. Gareth Potts, winner of this event 2 years ago. 3-1 ahead of Mick Hill, who won the event 3 years ago. And that was very close to in-off on the break. 3-1 he leads.
Red ball's potted.
He's potted red.
Yellows. Yellow ball's nominated.
Yeah, he's just going to cut the yellow ball now into the bottom left-hand corner and bring the cue ball around off 2 cushions.
Yeah, we think what he's doing is taking yellows there. He's going to clear these,
yellow balls in play.
These 4 yellows. There's 3 one side of the black and 1 the other. It just clears the black out of the way. Going virtually every pocket on the table then.
I think possibly as well when he clears these 4 yellows up, he'd like just to nudge the red away from the top of the 3 yellows. He doesn't block anything, but it just makes his work a little bit harder for position. So you quite easily see him just roll onto that off the yellow. And this shot or the shot after, probably the shot after.
Sean, you talked about the winner here joining an elite company, that being a group of only a few that have won this event on more than one occasion. Chris Melling is a 2-time winner. Jason Twist has won it twice. Rob McKenna twice. One of these 2 will join that group.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to leave the yellow over the top left-hand corner for his last ball. You just want to clear these 3 yellows up in the middle of the table. Just where he leaves his position for the 8 ball. I'm not sure if he's picked his pocket, which he's going to put that one in yet. That's why he's having 2 or 3 looks around what to do.
30 seconds.
He's picked his route. He's taking the yellow to the top right. Holding the cue ball there.
It's a real testament to the quality and standard that these 2 are capable of achieving, though. I mean, the smallest of mistakes can be so costly.
And the angle that Gareth left himself there, he knows he can just clip it in and come back down for the 8 ball. The central pocket was absolutely perfect to extend his lead.
And that he does. Now 3-frame cushion. He's 4-1 up on Mick Hill. A break and finish from Gareth Potts. Punishing.
Trailing 4 frames to 1.
The popularity of 8-ball pool in the RileysPoker.com World Championship, very evident. Mick Hill, frame number 6. He trails 4-1. Second time. He's found no friends at the table following his break.
He needs to put a bit more control on it, a bit more power, and try and split the balls.
Red ball's in place.
A little bit fortunate there, holds his hand up. He's potted the red in the corner and could have quite easily gone off the top right-hand corner. You say he's been fortunate, but it would have been really unfortunate for Gareth's side.
Well, he's still going to be cueing right from the jaws of that pocket, though, Lee, and that's not going to make life easy.
Yeah, he's probably going to be taking the red into the centre. But with a 4-1 lead, the shot seems just that little bit easier.
30 seconds.
Still a lot of work to do. Those reds are pretty messy, the bottom half.
Well, he's just looking where the cue ball's going to travel after he pots the red in the bottom left-hand corner. He knows it's going to bounce off the rail and come in towards that angle. So he's looking whether he can just cannon the red, or if he's going to slide past the red and go into the yellow. It's a key shot, this one. One good cannon here could open the frame up.
Former world finalist Darren Appleton there in attendance.
Yes, he did cannon the red ball with that kind of yellow. I'm sure he would have thought he would have cannoned both of them. But having played the red cleanly, it's not disturbed the air. He's got one good plant to make, then he's got a great chance for another frame. This is a perfect start for Potts.
You see the packed audience in the background being treated to a festival of pool here. And he's made it. Great shot there from Gareth Potsley, because a plant with that distance between the balls is not easy.
Yeah, I thought that he'd miss it to the left-hand side of the pocket, so it just sneaked in. That's probably why his cue ball's a little bit closer to this red than he would like, but it still goes. But the problem is his white ball's going over to the wrong side of the table from where he wants. So he's now going to have to find a gap which he really didn't want to be landing in.
Very important moments though. Gareth Potts was so intent on starting this match out the way that he had finished the last two, because he didn't get off to a good start in either his quarterfinal or semi-final, and he knew it.
And I think he just knows there, Jim. He just played a poor shot, probably his worst shot of the match so far, where he had a lot of way to leave this cue ball down the bottom. He's looking like he's going to play the red. Well, it looked like he queued up off the yellow. I thought he might have played the plant, but could be playing red off the yellow into the bottom right-hand corner. Screwing the cue ball back. Such a tough shot if you're going to put it off the yellow. He's played it off the red. And he looked at the yellow to see where the red is going. Very clever shot.
We're going to need another clever shot right here. Position. One more look at a terrific plant. Had to be manufactured, but position from this last red to the black. No mean feat.
And there's another top player from Stoke-on-Trent, Adam Davies, another player we've been practicing with for this tournament.
What are you guys getting fed down there, Lee?
Well, we've got a couple of darts players around our way as well, Jim. And obviously, Gareth hasn't had his tea tonight to talk about being fed, because he's well short on that shot.
No, a long ways. And this repaying the favor that Mick Hill sent Gareth Potts' way earlier. Bad positional shot from the last color to the black has been very costly for Mick Hill. Now it's Gareth's turn to suffer.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those where Gareth needs to have a bit of fun. Otherwise, he'll lose a frame like Mick Hill's done when he's run out of position, because all the yellow balls are in open position. He's trying to come off the back cushion and clip it in the middle, but he's got to swerve around the red. Yeah, it was probably too thin to play that shot. Like there's two balls to stick together.
Yellow ball's in play.
And they have done. And that might just be a lifeline for Gareth Potts in this frame. But I'm sure Mick will be looking to develop those out if he needs to. I don't think he probably needs to, because the top one goes into the right-hand middle league.
Well, I think he'll be playing him into the corner, Sean. He's got a couple of balls. If he moves the two yellows on the bottom left-hand side, they go. I mean, if those two yellows weren't there, they'd go into the bottom left-hand corner. So really, somebody of Mick's cue ball controlling ability should be able to pick his way around this finish quite easily. There's no balls in the way.
30 seconds.
I think I'm not sure what he's played. They just I can't see him taking the yellow into the centre.
What he has done though there, Lee, he's moved that yellow out of the way. So as you said, once he removes this yellow left-hand corner, those two yellows go into that left-hand corner pocket. Yeah,
I've just spotted what I think he's going to do, Sean. He's going to play the yellow into the bottom left-hand corner, and the yellow into the bottom right, and run round the back of those two balls. And that's probably his route he's going to go. Still needs to get good positioning off. This is a key shot now.
Well, the angle, very important. But at 4-1, the current scoreline that he trails Gareth Potts by. And each shot becomes a little more significant from the Mick Hill camp.
Yeah, it looks a little bit straight there. He'd like to be able to just run through off the side rail. He's screwing on and off the rail to come above the two yellows. Needs to come over. Well, he's just got the cue ball over. It'll be hoping the top one goes, because I think the bottom yellow is very, very thin. I don't think the top one goes, so he may be forced to go up the table. Mick Hill could miss these now just because of a couple of poor positional shots. He's taking the bottom one. I think the top one does go, you can see from the camera there, but he won't want to take the risk of just getting into half a pocket. It's probably the right shot to play.
30 seconds.
Got to buy himself another opportunity to get on these yellows. But he needs angle here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be straight, and I think he's done the same again.
Yeah, I think just a little comment from Mick there, saying about how straight he's finished on this.
I think he should have took the top yellow down. He'd got a quarter of a pocket to go at, but if he gets the wrong angle, he's totally dead.
Well, misses have been at a premium, but positional play has been another story. That has been what has cost either player.
I think he's still got a chance of getting down there, but yeah, that's probably as good as he could have done.
Pretty good effort. Under the circumstances, he had very little angle, so he had to force that one into the corner.
As we know, both of these yellows pass into the bottom left-hand corner. It's just a question which one he chooses. I'd imagine he will take the bottom one and try and come round the back of the 8, a little bit aside. That's exactly what he's done, and he's overcooked it again. A little shrug of his arm there, and puff of his cheeks. He's just not got the pace of the table yet. He just seems to be cue ball control. His potting's fine, just his positional play.
Well, he knows he's got to come with another shot here.
Well, he's got to screw it, Jim, and he's probably going to go very close to colliding into the 8, so he'll want to slide around the back. I'm trying to avoid it and avoid the knuckles as well. Just in perfect situation.
What a shot from Mick Hill there. Just when he needed it. Terrific shot making, and that time he did control the white. Gets back to 4-2, still trailing Gareth Potts.
Gareth Potts
frame
to break,
7,
leading 4 frames to
4-2. Gareth Potts in front with the break in number 7 here.
Got him, boy. Come on.
As the worm turned.
Well, the Hill supporters have certainly found their voices now. You heard the "Come on, Michael."
A little smile from Mick. I don't know if he feels that Gareth's been fortunate with not leaving him an easy finish. He's got a little bit of work to do, but I'm sure he could take the yellow and break into those 2, and all the yellows go. So I think he might not be just thinking straight at the moment. Yellow into the centre and just open those 2 balls up. I'm sure he's going to be in position. But he's getting reds, and the reds don't go, so this is a strange choice of shot play.
Red ball's in play.
He's got a chance to dislodge those 2 reds off this one.
I just thought the yellows were a lot easier suit to go for, though. It's one cannon, and you've got a yellow on the right-hand side, which is in position for the one which is close to the red in the middle of the table.
Just pointing out that yellow ball where he wants to send this cue ball.
I think he's got to be careful here, Sean. I think he's looking at the yellow onto the red that may knock that yellow into the middle pocket. So he's got to be careful how he contacts this cluster.
30 seconds.
I think that's the very reason that he didn't really try and go at them. He may wish he had now.
Touching ball.
I just can't understand what he's doing in this frame.
Touching ball called by referee Mel Harley. So that means Mick has to play away from this and contact a cushion or pocket a ball, so for the shot to be legal.
Yeah, he's probably you have to jack up over the red. I'm not sure whether the red passes into the right and centre. He's looking for a possible safety shot while he's leaving the cue ball. But I just feel it was a strange group of balls to go for.
Yellow ball's in play.
Just give Gareth a chance to get back into the frame.
I think he'd have liked that white a lot closer to the cushion.
So containing safety by Gareth, but as he lost the
cue
white,
ball.
he was fortunate there because he didn't mean to go anywhere near that pocket. So it's Mick definitely with the worst set of balls in this frame now, because all the yellows seem to be swamping the reds. So all Mick can keep doing is just playing safe, leave distance, stopping Gareth from going for the finish.
Much better effort that time though, Lee.
Yeah, he's got the cue ball glued to the top cushion. He knows if he can keep Gareth up there, eventually he's going to have to move a couple of balls which will open the frame up for him.
Well, everything to this point has been pretty freewheeling. And it took 7 frames for us to see a little bit of cat and mouse. And as yet, those rolls haven't been determined.
30 seconds.
Yeah, he needs to be very careful. I'm sure he'll be clipping off the edge of the ball, coming down to the bottom rail. That's what he's tried to do, but he's played it poorly. He may have left the red into the top corner and be able to move the path of the yellows, so the reds will go. It was a tricky shot because the length he got on the cue ball made the cueing a little bit more awkward. That's why there was a good possibility he was going to get an opening in the next visit. But there's still a lot of work to be done. A little shake of the head, so he's not ideal.
30 seconds.
I think he's just a little bit straighter in line. I think he wants to pump the ball into the top corner and try and go into the red or the yellow balls. It's too straight, so that shot wasn't an option. So now he's going to have to pick them off. And again, I think he's trying to run through for the one on the rail. He's not gone far enough.
Just seems a little out of sorts, Mick, here.
Yeah, show you where he wanted to be there, Sean.
Yeah.
He's going to have to play the ball into the top right corner and get back there. So this is his second attempt to get to that side rail. But if he goes to this, if he gets stuck on the side rail, he'll have the wrong angle, so he doesn't want to be too far over.
He's not done it again.
Yeah, I can understand why he was short on that, because he was thinking to himself, well, if I get stuck to the rail, then I've got the wrong angle. He tried to get absolutely perfect, and it was such a difficult shot to get what he wanted. But Mick's body language isn't good at the moment, is he? He's shrugging his shoulders.
It hasn't been from the outset. I mean, Gareth came into the arena looking a lot more focused and reserved. But Mick has had very little with which to try and build any positive momentum from.
Oh, I think he's trying the big shot, the run to the bottom right-hand corner, around the 2 angles again. Get his cue ball roughly where his hand is. This is a massive shot. Just trying to push the boat a little bit too far down the shore there. It was a very difficult shot.
You see he's talking to himself there. He's saying, I don't think he can quite believe not just that shot, but how he's playing in general, Lee.
Yeah, I think he's saying, what am I doing?
Well, his semi-final match against Rob McKay, went out a 10-5 winner, did Mick Hill. It was far from convincing. And Gareth Potts, well, what can you say about his semi-final? He was down 6-1 at one stage. Ended up coming back 10-7. He won that semi-final against Lee Clough. And he did start to produce some terrific form.
Yeah, in both of those matches he was down in the first sessions, so now he's come out the blocks really well. If he has a second session to this match like that, there's only one score in this match, and that's a win for Gareth Potts and his second world title. But we know what Mikhil's capable of. He's done it before. He's trod this path. He won't get too downbeat.
Nice shot from Gareth there. He's just dislodged that red and yellow, so the yellow now pots. He's going to have to make one good positional shot still in this frame, Lee. Yeah, that yellow at the top.
Yeah,
he just got to go that way now.
He's just got to be careful. He's going to draw the cue ball over into the centre of the table, which he's done. And there should be no real problems. He's just going to run the yellow into the top left-hand corner and on and off the rail, and anywhere in the middle of the table will be straight on the black. His option to go around the 2, I think both ways was productive.
Looking very determined and focused, Gareth Potts, eyeing this black. Deposits it and stakes his lead back to a 3-frame cushion. 5-2, he's up on Mikhil. Frame number 8. Mikhil trailing 5-2 to Gareth Potts. He needs a good break, and he needs something good to happen from it. The 2004 champ. The break has not been very kind to him.
Red ball's potted.
But he has made a ball, so this is a good opportunity for Meg to try and get some momentum.
Yellows.
Yellow ball's nominated.
Yeah, he's nominated yellows there, because if you look, yellows are all open. There's a couple of reds, certainly one just below the middle right-hand pocket there that's slightly awkward. So he's decided he's going to take yellows.
Yeah, I mean, all the yellows go into pockets. He's just got the 3 yellows on the right-hand side of the table.
Yellow ball's in
play. Be a little bit careful. He looks to be pretty perfect there, so he can take the yellow into either the middle pockets, probably the one on the right-hand side. They can take the yellow down to the bottom right. Just hold the cue ball where the yellow is. Taking a bit more time now. He knows it's an important frame. He doesn't want to let Gareth get too far ahead of him. Yeah, it's just perfect. He's just going to run through a little bit. Doesn't want to go too far, but also he needs to make sure he's on the yellow on the side.
Yeah, that's the thing. The key to this frame is that yellow ball. It's the one slightly awkward one.
Yeah, he's played it perfectly there, Sean.
Over the years, we've seen the bar raised. So many good players coming into the game. Gareth Potts at 23 already has a world title under his belt. Mikhil, 27, also the same story.
Red ball's in play.
Mikhil is just lost at the moment in this match.
See the shot once again. It didn't even threaten the pocket. Like, I think he's at the cushion 6-7 inches away there, above the corner pocket, and it's just just can't understand the shot at all.
Well, I think it's because he's under pressure, and Gareth's put him under that pressure. Doesn't look very happy sat there in his suit. But the reds are all in the open.
Seconds.
One good long pot here. Bring the white round 2 cushions.
Great shot there from Potts. Because what he's done is left himself a chance now to stun back. As we see from the overhead, he'll take the one into the middle. And he could stun back for the one to the left of it into the same middle pocket.
Yeah, I think he's just got to be careful, Sean. He's going to go into, he's showing you there, he could cannon into that red, which I'm pretty sure he's going to. And he's going to knock it towards the yellow, so if he can't avoid that, he's going to have to play it hard and try and bump it over to the other side of the table. Ideally, he would have liked a little less angle where he could take both balls into the same centre pocket. So he's going to be trying to dislodge it. That's a great shot.
Doesn't want that to go in for it. I was just going to say that red was travelling to the left-hand side of the table, and he didn't want it to travel too far.
Couldn't have been any better. He's dropped on the other red. He's got the perfect angle. Now his choice, how he wants to take out these last 4. But this is very ominous looking for Mikhil.
I was just thinking, if you look at the two players, Gareth seems to be going the right way about the finishes, where Mick tends to just to run out of position or choose the wrong ball in the wrong order.
But Lee, isn't it a fact that pressure doesn't always manifest itself by missed shots? Sometimes you get brain cramps, and you know your thinking process isn't as clear as it might be, and you're trying to be too cute with every little shot instead of trusting your back arm.
Yeah, you look for the problems rather than the positives, and you can ask nearly every top player when they play a match. There's always sometimes where they look for the demons and rather the chance to just take out an easy finish.
He's not come quite as far as he wanted to there, so he's going to have to run round the angles. But the way he's playing, shot held, no danger for Gareth Potts as he looks to extend his lead in this match.
And Sean, extend it, he will. Terrific form exhibited here by Gareth Potts, the 2005 champion, 6-2 in front of the number 3 seed. Doing the business here in Blackpool.
Gareth there, looking very relaxed in his seat, very focused. Sip of water, wiping the hands with the towel, just get himself ready. It'll be him to break in the next frame. We'll see once again the miss from Hill. That's just cost him. 8th frame. Lovely cueing there from Potts, and a nice simple 8 ball. Takes the frame.
Gareth Potts to break, leading 6 frames to 2.
Frame number 9. And the man with a 6-2 advantage, eager to get into frame number 9 here with the break.
Yes, yes, there we go.
Good break. Gareth's just seeing what's been left. He's frowning, so I'm not sure if he can get through to the red over the bottom right-hand corner. Probably will choose red because the yellow's being blocked by that red.
Red ball's in play.
Yeah, and he's, as you say, Lee, he's decided to take reds. Indication from referee Mel Harley. That's what he said, so obviously he can get through to it.
30 seconds.
Well, if he can get through to it, Sean, it's just one big pot and one good positional shot, and the frame's there at his mercy. And it does go. And he's cued that like a dream.
Yeah, he's definitely cueing better than Mick Hill right now. As great a cueist as Mick is, he's being outdone by the 23-year-old.
Well, he's just got these 4 reds in the middle of the table, which are blocking each other to the corner pocket, so you may see a plant or it might get behind them. There's a big gap between the balls, so ideally you wouldn't want to be playing the plant, but he could be playing it next. Looking at it, he's right behind it, so it's a straight plant, so...
Got down very quickly on it as well, Lee. But he's obviously showing the supreme confidence that he's currently got.
Yeah, it made that look a lot easier than it was. It was there was a lot of distance between that. Probably would have liked the cue ball to run a bit further, so you know he's going to take the red to the centre without a doubt. But now he's just looking where he wants a cue ball. So he's probably just going to stun down into the bottom area, leave a gap between those 2 yellows. That looks perfect.
He is playing.
He was quickly round there, Jim.
Supreme confidence right now.
Frame ball.
He's expecting everything to happen just as he wills it. He's playing at a quick pace.
Well, he's just checking to see if he can just stun it in, or can he roll through. It's dead straight, so I imagine he'll just stun the cue ball dead.
30 seconds.
It looks like he's going to run through for the corner. No, he's just dropped it.
Sorry, Jim. He seemed to be a little undecided there at one point, and didn't know whether what he was going to do. But he made up his mind very quickly after that.
He knew he was going to be close to the black. It can only have the top half of the pocket here, so he's got to be precise. And he gets it. Gareth Potts now 7-2 clear of Mick Hill. It's one-way traffic in Blackpool, and Potts is the one controlling the traffic lights.
Well, he doesn't look like he's in a world final at the moment. Looks like he's having a knock in the club.
Yeah, certainly looking very relaxed, Lee. And that was great clearance there. His early indications were when he broke and potted the ball, he didn't like the lie of the table. But he certainly made short work of that finish. And
it was all from that one good, great long pot and positional shot.
He's taking advantage. Frame number 10, 7-2, the deficit. And Mick Hill has to make inroads into that, and he needs a ball off the break. This is not turning out to be a memorable evening for Mick Hill.
And he's just opened the frame up for Gareth here. The Reds look to be in great position. Doesn't seem to be any balls blocking each other. So it's just a matter of controlling the cue ball, and as we've seen in this match, he's
red balls in play.
Controlled it very, very well. He's a little bit straighter on this red than he would like. He's probably going to run around the angles. That's what he's done. I'd like the cue ball to travel a bit further though. I think the yellow is blocking the red in the bottom right hand corner, so you may have to go over to the left hand side. Take that red down the rail past the yellow ball.
to be honest though, the way he's been queuing, this wouldn't hold any, be no fear from Gareth Potts in this pot, and he's missed it.
Come on,
commentator's curious struck a little bit there, Lee.
Yeah, I think he was thinking to himself, well, I'll play the red down down into that corner, and if I don't get it, I should get the pocket. So
he looks surprised. I mean, he's playing so well, he almost looks surprised. He didn't accomplish his goal there, and I agree with you. I think he might well have been trying to cover that corner pocket.
Yeah, I think it was good news, bad news. He was thinking to himself, well, the good news is if I pot it, well, the bad news is going to be for Mick Hill if I cover the bag. Well, Mick's trying to erase some of those bad memories, and I mean, it's a tricky finish, and he wouldn't want to be taking this out at 7-2 behind. He wouldn't be too upset if this yellow stayed over the pocket.
No, I'm sure if this was 7-2 the other way, Mick would be going a lot more positive about this finish, but he appears still to be positively.
Yeah, he had to go for the finish. I was just making the point that, well, he'd be over the moon if he sat there and just got himself settled in the match, because he doesn't look very composed at the moment. And this is a real tough out. But he has played a good positional shot there. The yellow does pass the red, and he's got half a pocket. Nice little cannon, bringing the yellow to the middle of the table.
Mick has to seize the initiative. He really has had precious little in the way of positive things happening in this match to this stage. 7-2 he trails. Well, why not adopt a little different philosophy?
But he's more than capable of stringing 2, 3, 4 racks together, so you can't possibly write him off in this match yet, but just looking at the two players, you'd obviously got to fancy Gareth.
But what were you saying earlier, that one of the finals, he was well behind and he fought back to win it?
Yeah, he was 5-0 behind to Dan Appleton in the final, which he went on to win. At the interval, everybody was virtually congratulating Dan. He was well clear, something like 7 or 8-2 at the interval.
I think it was 8-2, Lee.
8-2, a race to 11. You couldn't see him winning the match, so...
Sound familiar?
It could quite well be the same score.
And a fantastic shot from Mick Hill there, because he hadn't left himself the ideal position. He'd have wanted to be above the ball. And he was potting that yellow into a blind pocket. And now it's the simple stuff to reduce the deficit.
The machine gun still in with a shout. 7-3 to Gareth Potts.
Welcome back to Blackpool. You have to say things going pretty well so far for Gareth Potts. Let's get the verdict of Mark Selby, the current champion. Mark, what do you make of it? Because you can't really write Mick Hill off, can you?
No, not at all. I mean, I think they both seem to be queuing really well. I mean, Gareth's gone about the finishes really well. I mean, and Mick's gone about the finishes not so good, and obviously that's been a big point in the match so far.
Gareth just generally seems to be thinking a bit better and potting rather cleaner.
Yeah, like I say, I think he's going about the finishes a lot better, which obviously makes the game a lot more easy. I mean, the game's hard anyway, but if you go about the finishes the right way, sometimes it can come really easy, and that's how it's looking to Gareth at the moment.
So how would you see this then? You think Mick might come back?
Who knows? I mean, the first few frames are going to be vital for Mick, but it's a long way to come back. My money will have to be on Gareth now, but yeah, like I say, who knows?
He's starting to run out of frames, that's the trouble, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. Like I say, the first few frames are going to be vital. I think Mick needs to win the first two at least to give himself half a chance.
Mark, thank you very much indeed. So there we are. All right, now let's go back to Jim White.
The home stretch
frame, Gareth Potts
of the RileysPoker.com World 8-Ball Pool Championship here. 7-3, Gareth Potts in front of Mick Hill. And with the break in frame number 11.
Dry break, and it's not the start Gareth wanted. Leaving an open table for Mick Hill, and the yellows look to be quite simple really. He's just got one to get on, which is by the two reds, the bottom left hand corner.
Gareth in that short interval coming in, spending all the time on his own, trying to maintain that high level of concentration and focus. There's still a lot of work to be done in this final, and he knows it. And sometimes you build up a tidy lead such as 7-3 and you get around your mates and they're starting to celebrate for you.
Yeah, and Gareth in the interval just kept himself away from everybody. I had a quick chat with him. He's well aware of Mick's capabilities. He knows he's already done it in one world final, so he'll just be concentrating on his game, and hopefully he's going to get 4 chances, and he'll take 4 chances.
But Sean, you were saying prior to this that for you, you felt that Mick had to come out here and win at least 3 of the first 4 frames to get back into this.
Yeah, most definitely. Otherwise, Gareth could be disappearing into the distance and taking the title back to Stoke-on-Trent with him.
Yeah, I think the thing for Mick Hill in this match so far, it hasn't been the potter he's been missing. It's been the positional side, and should he be able to start to get the cue ball under control, he could be a very dangerous opponent for Gareth.
Such is the nature of this game, Lee. You know, a couple of dry breaks from Gareth and a couple of breaking finishes from Mick, and all of a sudden, say, he could be right back in this game in the next sort of 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, I've refereed these guys where, you know, they pull 6 or 7 frames off on the spin in literally 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've seen matches finishing that time. I've seen Chris Mallow in a match, something like 22 minutes, 7 or 8-1. You know, Mick's more than capable of stringing them together.
Well, this hasn't taken long. Just like that, 8 deposited, 7-4. He's won the last 2, Mick Hill, and he's got the break in frame number 12. The steamroll could start here. Well, Mick knows that he's got an uphill battle, given the alternating break format employed here. He's got to try and hold serve.
12th frame.
He can apply the pressure.
Trailing 7 frames to 4.
7-4. The scoreline here in Blackpool. Mick Hill looking at that deficit, but with the break here in frame 12.
Come on, guys. Come on.
And his arms are in the air.
Yeah, he lost the cue ball there, didn't get anywhere near as good a contact on the pack as he would have liked. And he's left an open table. You see it there, they didn't split greatly. Certainly didn't threaten any pockets.
No, and his arms went up almost in despair, Lee.
Yeah, he knows he needs the tide to turn, and you can't be leaving open tables for Gareth, especially where the yellows have come out. You know, it's just really a matter of one positional shot for the 2 yellows which are together at the bottom of the table. They both go in the bottom left-hand corner. Taking the one to the centre.
Yellow ball's in play.
Music will come back down after this shot for the one behind the bault line. Just having a quick look there.
Yeah, and this could just be the ideal response from Gareth Potts. After coming up dry on his own break in the last frame, and Mick Hill cleared.
Yeah, the key to this frame is those two balls just to the left hand side of the 8 ball. If you can get a good angle on those, and it's plain sailing. That's why he's decided to attack them now. I think he's slightly overdone it. Well, he's okay, you can play the one on the bottom rail, but ideally you want it to be on the 2 yellows which are together.
Just pointing there up the table where the path of this yellow ball, this cue ball rather, after he's potted this yellow.
Yeah, you can see the yellow does go. I think he's going to be taking the yellow to the bottom left hand corner, then having to take a long red on and stun over. He's just looking at the angle he wants to leave himself. So just be running the cue ball just a little bit off the rail for the long yellow. He's got the angle.
Yeah, it's perfectly. This is the big shot for Gareth.
Yeah, it's a tough pot, Jim, but also that 8 ball is going to be very, very big here.
That's roughly where he wants to bring the cue ball to. Very close to where the 8 is.
He's playing the cue ball inside the 8. And
that was a massive shot in the context of this game, because had he missed, would have come back to Mick Hill. Mick could have potentially got another frame back.
Played a clever little shot there, Sean. He used the cue ball to move the red away from the black.
He's playing like a man who will not be denied here in Blackpool this year. 8-4 Gareth Potts up on Mick Hill. He wants 3 more for the title.
13th frame, Gareth Potts to break.
Frame number 13. Will it be a lucky one for Gareth Potts? A winner 2 years ago. Looking to join an elite group of multi-winners.
There's not a particularly great split on the pack there.
Red ball's potted.
Quite sure whether it was the way Gareth broke or whether it was the rack, the way they've been set up.
But you'd always rather get a ball. At least you have control.
Red ball's in play.
Red balls, the chosen ball here for Gareth.
Yeah, the red doesn't go, so he's going to push it towards the pocket. Doesn't want to leave Mick on the yellow. I think he's blocked it with the red. The cue ball's gone closest to. Yeah, he's looking very composed.
See the break shot again. Yeah, you see there was about 4 or 5 balls to the left of the black. They just hardly moved there.
Just didn't quite catch them flush, Sean, you feel? Or possibly a little bit of a loose rack?
Possibly the way they split. It might just have been a slight gap in the pack there. I mean, the balls have been splitting well all through this match. Players don't seem to have been missing the ball on the break shot.
But Mick Hill's just played a clever shot there. He had enough room to get to the yellow, and he's promoted it over the pocket, trying to take control of the frame. Certainly has got control of the frame. I can't. Well, there certainly isn't a finish on for Gareth. All he can do is just trying to. Yeah, he's trying to contain Mick, blocking the yellows off. But I don't think it was. I don't think that Gareth's really done anything there. He just given Mick a chance to take control. He's just checking Mick, see if Gareth can squeeze the red past the yellow. I'm sure he'll just double a yellow down the table. Looking where he wants to leave the cue ball on the top cushion. So probably double the yellow up and down, try and get the other corner pocket on the right hand side.
If he gains control of this bottom half where all the reds are, he's got to be good favourite in this frame.
That's exactly what he's done, and as you can see, that red didn't pass the yellow on the left-hand side. It's a very good shot. Yeah, the shot that Gareth played didn't really do anything. All he did was give Mick a chance to take a little bit more control of the frame. So all Gareth can do is just clip off the edge of the red, but he's promoted the yellow a little bit more towards that pocket, so Mick is a very big favourite in this frame at the moment.
Gareth still looking very positive, body language, even while in his chair, very upright, almost as though he expects to get back to the table very soon. He knows he will here, but still very important to maintain that positive sort of posture.
And this might do Mikhail a little bit of a favour, really, just to try and slow the game down. It's Gareth the one who seems to be more clinical on the finishes, so it might just help him out in this match. Might be the change which he needs.
I agree. Lee, that's exactly how I've read the match to this stage. Gareth has taken the finishes out considerably better than has Mick.
So Mick's just looking, I don't know whether he's just going to double the yellow at the tail and screw the white ball back. That's what he's done. Clever little shot. Trying to force Gareth to open that yellow ball, which is locked in between the four reds.
No, Mick didn't look too happy as he walked away. Then Gareth's come to the table with some purpose here. You see, look at Mick's face. He's not totally convinced he's done the right thing there. So I wonder if he's left a red into the right-hand corner pocket, past the yellow.
Well, it's careless if he has. It's a great shot, but how's Mikhail managed to leave him that shot? Well, you'd feel that one possibility which Mick could do is play the tactical foul, play the yellow onto the red and bring the cue ball back onto those three reds. Might be able to squeeze the yellow past the red. That's exactly what he's done. Didn't really want the yellow to go.
Just wonder now if Mick feels it's the time to attack in this frame. I say, because he certainly played that with some purpose.
Well, I think he ideally would have liked it to stay over the pocket there, but he doesn't really want to go. But looking at the yellows, there's no real reason why he shouldn't do. I mean, the black goes into the bottom right-hand corner. Two reds on the top left-hand side, which can get position on it.
Well, I think removing this yellow states that, but position. He's overcooked that by a good 6 inches.
That is definitely the story of this match. Mikhail has not had this cue ball under control. You see, he's saying to himself, what am I doing? Why can't I get position?
Yeah, and the referee, Melville Harley's called the total snooker. You see on the replay there, Mick had his arms out even before the cue ball had come to rest. He knew.
But I think it goes back to the point that Jim made earlier, that this cue ball is slightly different and Mick is under pressure, so it's possible that because he's under pressure, he's going back to thinking how the ball should react and not how it will react.
30 seconds.
You're trying to get the ball off the side cushion here. No. That's a good shot.
Great shot there from Mikhail.
You know, when you're under pressure in a match, sometimes you just go into the reserves, don't you? And Mick's looked under pressure from the minute he's walked out.
Why would you feel he's been under pressure since he went out there, Lee? Because he's come into this, he's not a clear favourite, you know, and thinking, well, because I think he openly admitted himself in the pre-match interview that this was an even Stevens match. It could go either way.
Seconds.
You know, if you're a betting man.
You just sometimes put yourself under pressure. If you don't feel good on a shot or you keep running out of position, you sort of second guess yourself a lot of the time. And, you know, Mick shouldn't be second guessing himself. He's a world-class player, previous world champion. What a great shot that was.
Yeah, and hasn't that just opened the frame up instantly?
But this is another frame which Mikhail was in total control. and well, through two careless shots, he's now presented a chance where Gareth Potts has got a great chance to extend his lead even more. This is getting to a stage, should Gareth take these remaining balls out in this frame, and it's getting to a point where Mick Hill is going to struggle to come back, and no matter how good you are, your opponent's just going to get that one chance he's going to need without you being able to do anything about it.
Well, mentally, he has to really be fighting it. Like we've noted, look at how slumped Mick is in his chair, and we noted what Gareth Potts was like sat in his chair.
Yeah, he's come slightly short on that red. He's still okay. Got the option where he could just try and hold the cue ball there or come off a couple of cushions. Ideally, he would have liked another couple of rolls through the cue ball, being straight on it where he can just roll it through. But he may be forced to just roll the cue ball to the cushion and take a longer pot. That's exactly what he's done.
Showing a lot of confidence in your ability.
Well, he's probably just thought to himself, Jim, if I try and do too much, I might not get as good a shot I've already got on it, so he's playing well. Slightly hampered over the yellow.
He's playing well, Lee, but he's also playing within himself.
Yeah, he's not trying to do too much. He's seen the finishes well, and you know there is only one winner in this match for me. I just can't see how Mick Hill's going to turn it around.
Certainly looks like a man destined to become two-time world champion.
Yes, and a familiar story. Gareth Potts pocketing the 8 and securing yet another frame. 9-4 clear now of Mick Hill, and it's looking ominous for the machine gun. Next.
14th
frame number 14.
Trailing 9
Mick Hill
frames to 4.
Desperately needing something good to happen here. Break. And a clearance would be the tonic for an ailing Mick Hill.
Yeah, he's potted the red. I'm pretty sure he's going to go
Red ball's
reds.
in play.
And that's what he's done. He's nominated the reds, but I just get the feeling when this match is over, Mick Hill's going to have a sore neck. He's shook his head so much. You know, at some point you just have to say to yourself, well, you know, this is what it's going to be. I'm just going to have to dig deep and try and think positively. I mean, this isn't a hard finish for Mick Hill. You know, he's got 2 balls on the rail.
30 seconds.
And only 6 weeks or so ago, Mick Hill beat Gareth Potts 9-5 in a tour event, Lee, we were noting in the press room. So, I mean, he's got no reason not to believe as he came into this.
Yeah, I just feel that because of his lack of cue ball control, it's denting his confidence a little bit. He doesn't know where it's going, and you know, I mean, he's got one big shot now into the top left-hand corner, which should be the frame winner. Yeah, look, he's got the knuckle. It's always a chance to happen when you're going past the middle bags, but you know, this is another opportunity, and Gareth may be able to get behind. Just have a look now. It was on the rail, so you can catch that knuckle, and I don't think it's such a bad shot. I just think sometimes when the pockets are cut on this table, it can get caught on the angle. But they're all there. It's not an easy finish, but our Gareth's been playing. He could play the containing safety, which I doubt how he's been attacking in this game.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, he's played a clever shot there, because the angle he's left himself, he can play the yellow into the bottom left-hand corner and go into the yellow on the right-hand side rail, knowing that even if he wasn't to cannon the yellow, he's going to be up the table for the other one, so this has got a free shot at this. There you go, he's cannoned it. He's cannoned it, he's landed on the yellow, the top corner, so another great chance for Gareth Potts to get himself 1 frame away from another world title.
And he has manufactured a winning position here from half a chance, and that yellow that you spoke about, Lee, even just flicking it off that right-hand cushion, it is now available.
Yeah, and he can leave that ball till last. He can just dribble it into the centre pocket, and he's perfectly on the 8 ball. Just running this through.
And the Stoke lads are finding the voices again in support of Gareth Potts here in Blackpool. The final of the RileysPoker.com World 8-Ball Pool Championship.
I think for Gareth to come out, I mean, it's looking like he's going to win the match, how he's playing, and he's put Mick under all sorts of pressure. This has got to be one of the greatest performances of a player out here. I mean, we've seen great matches, but this match has been dominated by one player, and he's playing a world champion and a player who's won plenty of tournaments this year. I think he's landed a little straight on that one.
Yeah, he's just not quite got the angle he wanted.
I mean, when Gareth won his world title a couple of years ago, he played well against Chris, but I think he's upped his level this time.
He's looking at the double here on this yellow.
And should he get the double, he'll be in perfect position for the 8 ball.
And all the fans right in behind that knew it was in from the moment it was struck. And 10-4. Will it be 10-4 over and out for Mick Hill?
15th frame, Gareth Potts to break, leading 10 frames to 4.
10-4, the lead. Oh, straight into the side pocket for Gareth Potts, right when the winning line presented itself. Frame 15. Didn't want to start out that way.
Time running.
And that wasn't kicked in either. That cue ball straight into the center.
Yeah, it was a poor break from Gareth. I think for everybody watching the match, you'd like to see Mick Hill take his chance here and make Gareth win it rather than Mick fall over with a couple of balls left.
Yellow balls in play.
Gareth just to another break and finish and win the match that way rather than from a Mick Hill mistake. I mean, he's got the balls at his mercy here. There's no real problems. The problem that he's going to have is his head, I think, with him being 10-4 behind and put under all sorts of pressure.
He's got control of the bottom left.
But I'm sure when we speak to Mick after the match, he'll just say, I just couldn't get the ball under control. And, you know, at this level, you've got to have every aspect of your game spot on. And that's exactly what Gareth Potts has been, spot on. Clever little shot there, moving the red ball away from the yellow. It did pass before, but he just made the finish just that little bit easier.
Well, still showing flashes of
timeout,
what he is capable of. In the provisional ranking, Sean.
Time running.
Mick Hill certainly was the 3rd seed in this event. But he's always there or thereabouts, isn't he, in the top few?
Yeah, certainly, Jim. He's been near the top of the game for a long time. Took him a while to win his first world title, Lee, because everybody was tipping him from a very early age. This lad will win the world title, and every time he came to the Worlds, there was a big expectation on him. And eventually, 2004, he won that title.
Gets the 8 to stave off elimination. He's not ready to go home just yet. 10-5, Gareth Potts.
Yeah, he's looking more relaxed than he's ever done in the match. And I don't know if that's going to make him more dangerous in this match. Doesn't seem to be shaking his head as much. I don't know if he's resigned himself that he thinks the match is already over and Gareth's going to get that one chance which he needs. But, you know, you can never say the match is over. You've just got to hang in there and hope mistakes come, chances come.
16th frame, Mick Hill to break, trailing 10 frames to 5.
16th frame arrives. 10-5, Gareth Potts in the catbird seat here in Blackpool. What can Mick Hill do?
open
Well, that
table.
might well be Mick last shot of this year's World Championships. A big break, but yet again, no balls down and a wry smile from Mick. I think he knows things just haven't gone his way. And in fairness, that was a good break that he just dispatched there, but all he's done is left it open table, and just look at the yellows here.
Yellow balls in play.
There's nothing for Gareth to do. He rolled the yellow into the right and the centre, a couple of stop shots and picked the trophy up.
Next stop, Stoke-on-Trent for Gareth Potts with that World Championship trophy and the title.
Yeah, I think the stop after that, we're going on holiday on Wednesday, and I'm sure we'll be having a few beers around the beach.
The beginning of the end.
Well, it's just dot to dot now. He's got the yellow by the 8 ball into the bottom right hand corner. Hold the cue ball there. Drop the yellow on the bottom left. The yellow into the centre right. It's all over. He asked for 4 chances, and he's took 4 chances.
I think that Mick Hill sensed it right from the break. As soon as nothing dropped, Lee, he knew he was going to his chair for the last time. And listen to the crowd, wait for the applause. It's there, and for the second time, Gareth Potts from Stoke-on-Trent is the champion of the world. The RileysPoker.com World Pool title is his. 2-time world champion, he joins an elite crowd. Hail Gareth Potts.
So a fantastic performance then from Gareth Potts, and what a final that was. I have a feeling people will be talking about this one for years to come. Mark Selby sitting alongside me. We just had to admire that, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a great performance by Gareth. I mean, every chance he got, he more or less cleared up the table. Mick had a few chances early on, went the wrong way about the finish perhaps, but other than that, he had a couple of draw breaks, but Gareth took advantage of everything he had.
How good do you think that performance was?
Definitely. I mean, I played Gareth in the quarter-final and we both struggled a little bit. I watched him play the semi-final and he struggled a little bit, but like when it mattered, he cleared up every chance he got in the final.
And the gap really suddenly got too big for Mick. There was no way back, was there? He was too far behind.
Yeah, definitely. It was a big margin up the interval, 7-3. I mean, Mick needed roughly to win the first 2 frames to go 7-5. He won the first one to go 7-4, had a chance in the next one, but it wasn't to be.
Well, Mark, you're going to hand over the trophy, not physically, but you know what I mean, metaphorically, to this new man. And Gareth, it's well done to him, isn't it?
Yeah,
great
brilliant.
champion.
Congratulations to Gareth, yeah, great
Terrific.
champion.
Thank you for that, Mark. Of course, the current champion no longer now, because, of course, it's just gone to Gareth. We can now hear from Jim with both players.
Well, we crown another 2-time winner here in Blackpool, but first, commiserations, Mick Hill. Mick, you said it was going to be about the break. It just didn't work for you today, did it?
No, but having said that, I think from the TV stages, I think Gareth definitely controlled the balls better than everyone else that I saw. I think he played the first session against Mark, and it was a little bit of edgy match, big match for him, but I think after that, he seemed to, you know what he was doing, and the white was everywhere where he wanted to be, and it weren't quite there for me, to be honest. I thought if I had to play a couple of clinical shots, it weren't quite going to be right, if you know what I mean. So I think a worthy winner tonight.
He just seemed to take his finishes better, didn't he?
I thought so, yeah. I thought if they were wide open, then, let's be honest, it's just was one of them. But when it was a little bit clinical, and I thought he took them out far better than I did, to be honest.
Well, it takes a world champion to know another. All the best, Mick, and well done.
I just thank everybody for coming over, all the lads and from Morley and Dudley, everybody for coming up, appreciate it. And well done to Gareth, well done, mate.
Well done. Cheers, Mick. Well, Gareth? What can we say that you didn't show? I mean, that was absolutely clinical. As good a performance as we've seen in a World Championship final in many a long time. And Gareth, walk us through the last frame.
Well, obviously he broke off a didn't pot a ball, and they were sitting there. I couldn't really ask for an easier finish to clinch a world title and that. So I was just happy to have an easy finish to win, really.
But even sitting in your chair, we noticed it on camera. You were upright, you were perky, you were always positive right from the start.
Yeah, I said to myself, just stay positive no matter what, especially after my semi-final, after being 6-1 down. And just never give in, no matter what the score.
2 world titles, are there more?
Well, I hope so. I'll certainly be back here next year to defend it. I'd like to thank all the lads that came down to watch it. You know, I couldn't have done it without them. They've been absolutely brilliant, and especially Lee Kendall, who sort of guides me in the right direction. He has done for a long time, so I'd like to say thank you to him, especially.
Yes, well said. And again, here to a champion. Well, without further ado, let's bring out Scott and our presentation party.
Oh yeah, ladies and gents, please welcome to the floor your presentation party. Tournament Director Alan Benton and from Riley'sPoker.com, Steve Cousins. Ladies and gents, please, a big round of applause first for your runner-up, Mr. Mick Hill. Ladies and gents, your 2007 World 8-Ball Pool Champion, Gareth Potts.
So it's congratulations then to Gareth Potts. What a fantastic new champion, a double world champion now. Congratulations to him. That is it from this series here in Blackpool. Hope you've enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you next year at the same time. In the meantime, from everyone here, it's